Claiming for insurance is actually more or less follows a standard procedure. It may not even be marine, but since you have asked about marine, a claim starts with a notification of the loss. The notification can be done to your broker, if you have gone through a broker, so that the broker manages the subsequent processes. Or if you have gone direct, you'll have to notify your agent or your insurance company for that matter. And upon notification, then the insurer, if you have gone direct, or the broker or the agent, if you have gone through an intermediary, will advise you on the basic documentation that you will need to file. A report showing that actually the loss happened. They will need to estimate the value of what you have lost. That may require that probably they assign a loss assessor to come and ascertain the value lost. Proof of ownership. You see, I mentioned that insurable interest in marine only applies at the point of loss. So you need to prove insurable interest here. The other documents at the source may not be adequate because along the way goods may have changed hands very many times. And a few other documents. So for the importer who is watching us, I think the most important thing to do is to notify your insurer, either directly or through your agent or broker, and they will advise you on the next steps. In terms of time, really what delays the insurance claim settlement process in most cases is on the side of the insured. Because if they have asked you 5 documents and you have given only 2, it is very unlikely that the insurer will pay the claim. But what I want to say is that once you have provided all the documentation and they have given you what they call a discharge voucher and you have signed it, then we actually have claims guidelines. They are on our website. If the money is less than 5 million shillings, we provide the time, usually in a week. If it is over 5 but below 10, we provide the time, usually about 10 days. If it's a complex claim of 20 million and above and it requires some bit of investigations here and there, maybe we give it a month. But these are standards, but I am very sure, because I have seen it happen on this market, that it's possible for you to sign a discharge voucher today and you have your money paid tomorrow without necessarily waiting for these days. For us, the days we give are in the worst case scenario. It should never go beyond this period. Yeah. And in a competitive environment, who doesn't want to pay a claim on day one so that the customer goes with a very nice experience so that they can recommend more consumers the following day? Like I mentioned, marine insurance is new to many people, especially the small to medium businesses. Maybe the big businesses have been taking up marine given the volumes. But when we are talking about the small to medium, it is a new development. Now, what we have been doing together with our stakeholders, especially the Uganda Insurers Association, is to engage trade associations. CASITA, for example, has been key in our engagements. The Clearing and Forwarding Agents Association, I think it's called UCIFA, Uganda Clearing and Forwarding Association. We have been engaging with them. The Uganda Manufacturers Association, we have been engaging with them. The idea is that, number one, they should not look at this as just a new cost to their businesses. Through all these engagements, we have been showing them value. You are saying in the absence of insurance, and indeed some of them have suffered losses before, and some of them have suffered losses with insurance from their countries of origin, but they cannot claim. How many Ugandans can make a claim in Chinese? It is, and how do you go back again to claim in Japanese? It's very unlikely. So we have been engaging them to show them the value. Yes, there is some small cost, but is this cost worth the value? And many of them seem to have agreed. I think if you have been watching, you must have seen some of the Casita people saying, when is this thing coming? Because they are eager, they see a lot of value in it. So we have been engaging, we continue to engage, we shall continue to roll out programs, we shall continue to roll out engagements through our different medias, social media, radio, television, etc., to ensure that people buy this insurance willingly. We want to create a demand-driven kind of solution, as opposed to us driving it from the supply side or from the law side that you must comply. We want people to buy because they have actually seen value. You see, as people get to know more about insurance, because indeed we have tried to do a lot to sensitize the public about insurance. Some ways, ways people have also been created through our awareness. They know that the sector is big, because when you talk of a sector which is generating close to 1.5 trillion shillings in a year, that's not a small sector. So some ways people have tried to target to get money through fraudulent ways. And indeed, on an annual basis, we are able to detect and stop maybe not less than 20 billion shillings possible fraud. But now that's what we are able to detect and stop. Certainly there are others that we may not probably have detected and stopped. So the complexity of marine may actually introduce another possibility of fraud. But we have also prepared for that. In-house, we have enhanced our capacity, our in-house capacity to detect and fight fraud. We have entered into a partnership with Uganda Police, and as I talk now, we have some policemen seated here within the IRA, and their work from morning to evening is to study the dynamics, identify possible fraud, and once we get them, we prosecute them through the courts of Uganda. So whoever is thinking about it should really stand warned, because we are also not sleeping. We are aware, and on a daily, we are enhancing on our capability to make sure that only the genuine claims, legitimate claims, are paid at the end of the day. Because that will then actually, in the long run, reduce the average cost of insurance to Uganda. Why insurance is expensive in part is because of some of these wrong elements. Because if I know that out of the 10 claims which I pay, 3 are fraudulent or 2 are fraudulent, then I'm going to build this cost of fraud into pricing. Because I'm also not, I'm not a charitable organization. I'm in business. So once I detect fraud, then I find a way of pricing it. So the innocent, me and you, are actually paying for the wrong characters. That's why we are very, very serious. We are very determined to ensure that we fight this vice so that the genuine people pay an appropriate price. My last word is really advice. We hustle a lot to make money. Business people hustle even much more than probably me who comes here and I'm paid at the end of the month. It is a real hustle. Some businessmen are using money which is borrowed to hustle. My advice is that don't let your money go without protection. Don't let your value go without protection. Yes, prayers will work, but up to some limit. From the insurance industry, we are advising that now that there is an opportunity for you to secure insurance from the local insurance providers with whom you can even speak your local language when it comes to the claim. Please utilize this chance and you'll thank us later.